Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Omnifactory. So here we are today, episode 120. And yeah, so last episode we just got in the creative tank and I was talking about doing some turbine setup. Well, things have changed a little bit there. I learned quite a few things, namely that the Nakuda reactor is going to be more what we're going to be after. Simply for the fact that the Nakuda reactor can put out a little bit more than 500,000 EU per tick. So, yeah, I'll get to that in a second. Now, I also did some work off camera. So we got the creative tank, right? And with the creative tank, that means that we can pretty much melt down ingots, put them into the tank, and then put them into a solidifier and get infinite of that ingot within reason. There are some ingots that don't work like that, where we still have to use a machine. But we also will have infinite access to fluids and gases and all that stuff. Because now in this game, this point of the game, we're going to be ramping up our production of the microminers to get the other creative items, right? So if I do creative source, I think this is the next one right here. So the I don't remember how much this sends out power wise. I think it's like 2 billion per side, but essentially this is what we're looking at, right? Energy pylons, not a big deal. Energy core, not a big deal. Reactor stabilizers, that's not so bad. However, the infinity catalyst, well, that's going to be something else entirely. We're going to need at least 4. Wait. Okay, we need 1 heart. And then I think, wait, hold on. I think we'll need the 1 heart for the RF source. Because the rainbow generator requires 1 heart for the actual block. And the actual rainbow generator isn't required until the creative energy source from EU2. So I think it's just 1 heart to get the creative power. That being said, this is going to be our goal next because we want infinite power. The Nakuda reactors that are going to be made or have been made, spoiler, they don't compare to what this outputs. Right, so let's go down to the turbine room. And I wanted to show something that I had made. Here we go. So these are the Nakuda reactors. I made them because I was hurting for power. And, well, I just wanted to get some power going. You'll see here, 655,000 EU per tick. Now that's going to be 2.62 million RF per tick. So we got about 7.8 million RF, or yeah, 7.8 million RF per tick coming out of these bad boys. And the only things that these things take for power are Nakuda bolts, right? And you'll see 600 seconds at that power, 7 billion EU. Now, because we have the creative tank, I was able to make these no problem. I just made a tank and a solidifier with Nakuda, and I have a extruder down here making the Nakuda. Now, it doesn't, make them too frequently because these things last forever. Right, so on that note of the creative tank and the solidifiers, let's go down to the room. Oh, okay, I've already shown it. So yeah, here is the wall of items that I made off camera. Mostly everything. Mostly everything here is accounted for. There are some metals that I haven't gotten around to yet. We have 4 rows of 22 machines. Well, 22 here, 22 there, 22 there, 22 there, right? So, we got gold, we got energetic alloy, enderium, electrum. We even got neutronium, iron, indium, omnium, all this good stuff. Now we have the empowered blocks as well as the empowered gears. Yeah, I had done some quests. I had completed some quests in the process of doing all this. Let's see, late game. Do I have anything here? I don't think so. Okay, I think the only quests that I need to complete are these boys. And then that leads into this. Right. Okay, so I think that's most of the coverage here. Now, because we have creative fluids, creative items for the most part, we're going to be able to tear out a lot of the base here. We can tear out this over here. We're going to tear out the fusion reactors and the turbines back there. Well, maybe not the turbines right away, but at least the reactors anyway. And once we tear the reactors out, I may reposition those. I'm not sure. But I'll be able to fit PA arrays down here if I want to. I will also be able to come up here and break a lot of these blast furnaces because they're no longer needed for the most part. Right? Annealed copper, lumium, signalum, tungsten, microversium, all these are basically going to be torn out with the exception of flux electrum, for example. I know that still has to be in a furnace, but yeah, we're going to gain so much more room to put more PA arrays, and some of the old PA arrays here will be deleted. Some of the these towers can be deleted, and so on and so forth. So yeah, that's gonna be a lot of work there. Whoopsie. Okay, so oh yeah, so what I wanted to cover also today, I was having the biggest trouble with this draconium spear. I say that because the Flux Networks mod was giving me issues. I couldn't figure out what was going on with it. I think it's just naturally bugged out. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be taking back all of my items here, all the blocks. Well, actually, you know what? It doesn't really matter anymore. I can just go... Actually, it doesn't even matter. I don't even have to take this away. What I'm going to do then is I'm just going to request a core. A whole new core. Okay? And we're going to make a new draconic sphere in the base. I think I can do this without much issue. Okay, it's going. Yeah. So I'll be able to make a new sphere in the base. Energy core. Okay, that's still cooking up. I do need my tablet. There it is. Because I want to see... I need to... What? Okay, thank you. What? Okay, I think it's downloading for whatever reason. I did recently upgrade the dev version of the pack. So maybe that was why. The dev version that I upgraded to, basically, there was a big fix in place that, well, to try to explain it, there are the item IDs. Well, basically, they did a item ID shift. They fixed the items and how they're like lined up in the pack or how they're loaded, or I don't really know how to explain it properly, but essentially they made it so that when you're upgrading from a prior version, say 1.2.1 or 1.2.2, that when you upgrade sequentially, right, 1.2.1 to 1.2.2 to either dev or whatever the next version will be, like 1.3, basically there won't be a big issue in migrating your world. Before I upgraded, for example, the Ender IO end steel, if you remember, I tried to craft the block, but I was getting the Greg Tech version of the end steel, not the Ender IO. And they fixed that. That's one example of that. Okay, enough of that. So the energy core, where is it? I keep seeing it in my brain. There it is. So, ooh, okay, it's loading. So for tier 8, where is it? Tier 8. Okay, it's loading still. Tier 8, we're going to need 30. Okay, that's normal. We're going to need 786 draconium blocks and 378 awakened draconium blocks. Well, it's a good thing that we have creative fluids now, if I'm not wrong. So, draconium block, right? So we need how much again? Okay, let me write this down so I don't keep checking it frequently. Give me a second. I'm trying to get Notepad open. There we go. Okay, so 786 draconium and 378 awakened. So calculator, 786 divided by 64, basically 13 stacks. It's not exactly 13, but and then 378 divided by 64, and that will be 6 stacks. And I'm rounding up, of course. Okay, energy core. There that is. I need to get this on the right. JE synchronized standard. I think that's right. Okay, so stabilizer. We're gonna need. Okay, we already have 16, so I need 20 more. Look at that. It's already got the empowered blocks, so that's pretty sweet. That should be made up pretty quickly. There we go. Okay. Whoa. Beautiful. Right, so once I get the power storage saved up and fixed, then I'll be able to easily, store a bunch load of power. So when I go and craft in the infusion, it's not going to drain my power supply. And then at that point, I'll be able to set up the other towers because, well, we're going to need it in regards to getting the the creative vending upgrade. This bad boy right here. Infinity ingots, all these creative items. We're going to need a lot of infusion. Okay, so there's that. And let me put away some items that I don't need. Don't need to go to space. Don't need that. Don't need that. Don't need that too much. Don't need that. Okay. So, draconium block. So let's get the awakening first. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sorry, I had a burp there. 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 12, 13. Okay. So at that point now, oh yeah, so I have this little layout here where I'm going to be putting the core where that upper cobblestone is right there. And we'll see if this will play nicely with the room that we have. So I'm just going to put a block here just as a placement, right? So that will go there. Okay. So if I go into the interface here, we're going to go right up to tier 8. And there we go. Still on the draconium. I remember having to do this by hand back in the day. That was not fun. There we go. There we go. There goes the awakened draconium. Give me a second. Okay, I don't know if it completely finished. I'm gonna go on a limb and say it did finish, but this is gonna be tricky. Okay, so this is where the stabilizer will be centered, right? 2, 3. Stabilizer's invalid. Core is valid. Okay, so I think it did finish. I think I measured it out properly. Okay. So like that. Like that. What's over here? Oh. So there's the middle. And then boom, boom, boom. Okay. And should be one more. Okay. Everything looks good. So I'm going to go ahead and activate it. There we go. All right. So that was able to be built. That's good. Let me make sure I can get these cobble out of the way. Okay. Where's my OBS? Give me a second. Okay. Da, 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 da. Okay, so we have everything here. I'm gonna have to do some tweaking in regards to design. And again, to remind y'all, I made this inside because I wanted to be closer to the conduits, to our conduit system. Because again, the wireless teleportation was not working out nicely. Okay, so let's get energy pylon. And we're gonna need 2 of these, of course. We need, oh, that was quick. Say glass, and I need to remind myself what the placement is like. So the energy core setup. Okay, so if the pylon is above the center of the core, the glass has to be on the bottom. If the pylon is below, if the pylon is above the center, the glass needs to be on top, be on the bottom. If the pylon is below the center of the core, on top. To check that the... Okay. So then, can I do it like this, where... I think that's even. No, wait. If that's the middle there, I need to bust this off. Okay, like that. Okay, so boom. And one more time. Pylons below the center of the core, the glass. Okay, top. Okay, so boom and boom. All right, now this is going to be output. That's going to be input. So now I wonder how close we are to any piping. Let me do this. I'm going to mark orb, that, and then I'm going to come over here. Oh, hey, look at that orb. There we go. So then at that point, get rid of the pipe, the blocks here. Okay. We're gonna get a little bit of conduit. Whoops, I don't need this end steel. I want the superconduct. Okay. Oh, the power's right there. Sweet. So that makes it simpler. Probably do some facading over these conduit. Oh, you know what? Let me do it like this. I hate how... There we go. So, like that. Yeah. I think that's better. Okay. Get rid of those. Where's my magnet? Okay. So, yeah, we're filling up the power now. So this way, the power, or the sphere, is going to be hardwired into our power system always. There won't be any issues with any teleportation or whatever. Now, if we wanted to do teleportation of power, then we can just get into dimensional transceivers, or Draconic Evolution has a means of teleporting power that I kind of want to do if we have the need for it. That being said, facade. Like that. That. And, whoops, like that. So yeah, I think that's okay. Let's see here. Wait, what? Give me a second here. There we go. So yeah, I'm just gonna get rid of this border because it's no longer needed. There we go. So, I don't know. I'm not the best with, like, design. I mean, I got the basic box structures going on for the most part. You know? But I will try and clean up this surrounding area. Off camera. Right, so this thing is gonna hold power for years. In fact, you can kind of see it's already estimating it's going to take 255 years to fill this thing up. And it's still going up. Look at that. This thing has a maximum of 9 quintillion, I think. No, 9 quad... No. I think it's 9 quint. Let me verify. Million, billion, trillion, quadrillion. Yeah. So 9 quintillion. Basically, it's, in programming terms, long integer. So it can have as much as 9 quintillion digits, or 9 quintillion as a value. But damn, we're filling this thing up. Well, to be fair, the superconductor conduits transfer 134 million RF at a time. So it's probably not a true measure of our power, you know? But, yeah, I got this built now, and it should be beneficial. So now when I request like a large infusion craft, it shouldn't, you know, leave us high and dry for power. Our machines will still be able to function. Now, mind you, this thing will have to build up charge for a bit. We're already at 300 billion. So, yeah. Although now I'm curious about something. If I go to here, energy core setup. Where is the page where it shows the power? Does it show that at all, I wonder? I don't think it does. I could swear that it showed you how much power it made. Okay, I got an idea. Can I get in there, please? Thank you. Ah! Okay, that was a bad idea. Ah. Okay. I could have just done this. Yeah, okay. I don't know. I thought I was, like, insane, and I kept mistaking trillion for quadrillion, but no. The tier 7 is definitely quadrillion. Anyway. Right. So, I think from here on out, I'm going to be deleting a lot of these machines. And I'll be storing fluids in, like, the creative tanks, right? Which the creative tanks are presently in this room over here. We got the lava, we got the carbon. I only made this carbon tank because I needed carbon cells to make the empowered Inori crystals and blocks. But, like, we got the polytetrafluoroethylene, we got epoxy resin, liquid XP, nickel, is that plasma or nickel? I think that's nickel plasma, but it's not showing the plasma word in there. Oxygen for some reason, yeah. So I'll be setting up more tanks there and whatnot. So yeah. I think that's going to be it for the episode, though, for the most part. If I were to request this right now, there are some things that could be made faster, like the draconium plates. I'm just looking here. Another thing that I might think about doing, given that we're going to be removing a lot of old machines, is making the bundling machines that handle the wires and putting those into a PA system. I mean, every little time saver helps, right? So that would probably be something I look into. Still going to keep that around. This was handling certain ingots when I needed them for the catalyte / omnium motes. I think we still need to make those. We still need to make a lot of things. So I gotta make sure I have the ingots and such. Like, for this recipe here, the ultimate gem, we're gonna need, like, pure fluix crystals, clathrates, the ender crystals, weather crystals, which that's not too terrible. Flux crystals, infused lava crystals. Yeah. And that's gonna be used, oh yeah, for the ultimate, I guess namely for the ultimate armor here, which in itself is used to make the infinity armor, right? Neutronium, not too terrible, but it needs infinity ingots. And infinity ingots, the worst part of this recipe are the eternal catalyte and the infinity catalyte, right? We need omnium, the gears, ender stars, endus stars, gravistars, right? And then for the catalyte here, more eternal catalyte, chaotic cores, and hearts of the universe. Oh boy. So I might have to make more chaotic cores in that regard. I may have to make a separate tower for chaotic recipes. Because the chaotic injectors are themselves going to be pretty expensive. What are we missing for this recipe? Gallium? Really? Yeah, that's crazy. I guess... Hold on. Gallium dust. So, I got the gallium tiny pot recipe there. Now that I have infinite gallium, I can just... Wait, why is it... What? Hold on. Injector. And it says that it doesn't have small pile? Oh. Did the pattern get broken? Okay. Small pile. Oh, shit. Okay, we are actually out of time here. So let me just get this fixed up. Small pile of gallium dust. There we go. Okay, so if I wanted to request these, for example, that overall isn't that terrible. It's gonna need nanocircuits, so maybe I can rethink some of the recipe and do that off camera. But for now, though, I'm gonna call this an episode. I hope you all did enjoy. We've got quite a road ahead of us. See you next time.